Okay, so real quick, only trade YM. I've been trading over almost 8 years now. Trade between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I give myself 3 shots to get a trade right. If I can't get it in three, I just call it a day. So real quick, gonna just break down this week's trade so far. I actually just got out of my last trade for today. Today is Thursday, August 20th. It's like 1:30 p.m. on the dot. Cool. So let's get into it. So Monday. First off, I'll say a lot of these trades this week, I took losses in the beginning and then I won after. So I don't have my journal pulled up on my other screen. So I kind of like right now, I can't really go through exactly when, but I'm gonna try to remember the best I can. So Monday, I know for a fact I lost about once or twice. And most of my trades this week I did not get follow throughs on most of my trades. So Monday, basically what I was looking at was looking to the left. I saw that we had liquidity. We had the massive fair value gap here, unmitigated order flow here, London low here. And I was confident that we would continue to the downside, right? We also had London high up here and Asian high up here. So my thought process when I got on the charts that morning was we already closed below London with this 815 candle. Typically, my London close setup is I like to see, I look for a candle to close above or below London, creating and leaving a fair value gap, and I look for the market to come back into the fair value gap, hold their fair value gap, and then continue in that direction the fair value gap was created in. So 815 candle, they created a fair value gap. They closed below London, officially closed, right? I was looking for the market to come back into that gap. 9:30, they came right back into it, and I immediately pulled as soon as they came into that gap. They fluctuated for a little bit, and then I was good at first, and then eventually the 945 candle came and took me out. So once the 945 candle came and took me out of that trade, immediately as soon as that 945 candle began to wick out, I went ahead and pulled the trade again. 10 o'clock came in. It did not take me out. It came very close to taking me out, but 10 o'clock did not sweep the 945 candle. So I was just kind of sitting and waiting to see if the trade was going to follow through. 10:30 gave us some nice price to the downside, but we still failed to displace below the earlier 9 o'clock New York lows. And then, I mean, it just never followed through. By 12:15, they had came back and took me out, stop profit. And yeah, so, and they still either way didn't follow through. So that's pretty much how Monday went. Going into Tuesday, okay, we were already reacting to this. We had basically overnight, we had filled in this gap, came into the unmitigated order flow. So by Tuesday morning, pretty much I saw London high was open. It was an obvious setup. 9:30 came out, they blasted right below London low. As soon as they started to pull back above London low, I went ahead and pulled the buy. And my target was London high. And if price action would have looked great, I was potentially prepared to take that trade even higher up to this supply from the previous day, which is Monday, and even higher into this London supply here to treat this as inducement if they wanted to do that, right? Overall, I still kind of had the idea in my mind that the market was probably going to head down, but I was confident at this point we would come up higher to take out some more inducement liquidity to the left before we did that. I just didn't know where. But again, Tuesday, I did not get a follow through. I ended up getting hit stop profit. So that's what it was. And then, of course, Wednesday night, going into Wednesday morning, they go up and take out that target. So now Wednesday was a very unique day. And I wanted to make a video specifically just about this. And I might still do that, but I'm going to break it down here first. So Wednesday, when I got on the markets, I saw London and Asian low open, and 8:30 we were already blasting to the upside. So I'm pretty confident at this point that we're coming up to take out this inducement from Monday, possibly tap into this London supply from Monday night prior to New York session Monday morning, and then continue to the downside to take out London low, Asian low, and possibly go lower to target some of those areas of liquidity I got to the left, right? So what happened with this was, in my head, I already saw my London close set up for the buy forming. And I had the idea that they could potentially go even higher and continue going up if they wanted to. But I took the sell. Now I'm gonna break down my logic to how I go about making a decision when I find myself in a trade and I can also see another trade forming in the opposite direction. Okay. Unlike Forex, I could have took the trade in both directions. But futures, you just can't do that. So that's just not a benefit. Now, I took the sell at 9:15, 9:45, 8:45 candle came out, went above 8:30 candle, beautiful price action. You didn't have any type of wick on the bottom of this 8:45 candle. So that already gave me indication once they threw out the wick that we might be getting ready to shift momentum. 9:15 candle gave me 9 o'clock candle gave me even more confirmation and confidence that we were about to shift momentum to the other direction. 9:15 comes out and sweeps the 9 o'clock candle, mitigating the 8:45. I went ahead and pulled as soon as 9:15 closed and put my stop above 9:15. We already mitigated 8:45, so there's no reason to put the stop way up here above 8:45. We started pressing down at 9:30. Now, this is the thing. I already was very aware that if we cannot close this 8:30 candle gap at 9:30, then the market is probably not going to continue down. They're going to reverse up. So once this 9:30 candle came down and swept the 8:30 candle low, but did not close this gap, I was pretty confident that they were about to buy, and I did not know how high they would buy. This is where logic comes into play, because in the past, when I ran in a situation like this, I would panic. I would be in fear and go ahead and close my sell and hop into the buy. And then if the buy didn't take off fast enough, I'd be in panic, close my buy, hop in the sell. And I just start going back and forth, right? My new logical mind that I operate from now is this. I have to be okay with whatever decision I make in that moment. And I have to be able to accept the outcome that comes with that, even though I don't know what that outcome is going to be. That's a big part of trading that a lot of people just can't get over, that hump of not being able to accept what could happen, and also accept they don't know what's going to happen. But you got to be willing to accept it based off of the decision you choose to make, right? So I stayed in my sell because I was confident that London and Asian low would still get taken out. I stayed in my sell. They reversed up, took me out, stop profit, cool. And at that point, I was like, okay, cool. I was already, prepared for the sell-off anyway. So I was like, all right, we go higher. If they fail to close and displace above London, I'm pretty confident they're going to be taking out Monday's highs as inducement. Well, it's already been taken out as inducement. They're going to come into that London supply, and we may get an entry for the sale. So once I got hit stop profit, cool. I took the trade. I want to say did I pull again at 10:15? I did because even though they took me out stop profit, they still failed to displace above the 845. So that was the 945 candle. I was like, not yet. Then the 10 o'clock candle came out and swept the 945. But the fact that the 10 o'clock candle still was somewhat, well, no, actually I did. I'm sorry. I did pull on the 10 o'clock candle and I got took out right there. Yeah. I pulled on the 10 o'clock candle. I got took out by the 10:15. So once the 10:15 closed and it closed bullish the way it did, I just kind of left it alone and just waited. I was still confident that the sale was still possible because London supply, we had not taken that out or displaced above it. And then 11 o'clock came in, and as soon as that 11 o'clock candle swept that 10:45 and it closed the way it did, well, actually, as it started to go down, I pulled here. So, but then it fluctuated back up before it closed, and it closed like this, but I was still already in it. 11:15 came out, strong bearish pressure to the downside. And then slight little pullback, 12:15 came out, came into this little fair value gap area here. And then they continued down more, so I was confident we were good. I just wanted to see us get a little displacement below New York and eventually take out Asian and London. By the time we got here at 15:30 and they went up and then they wicked out, I was really confident the trade was going to follow through, even if it was so late today. But then once this 15:45 candle came out and swept that and went up, I just went ahead and closed the trade because I'm like, all right, we already stalled out for so long. We fell into this place below 1 o'clock. It's probably not going to happen. So a big thing with my management in my trades is I manage trades based on price action and what time is it. Because I typically, the best trades that I've ever taken, my A+ setups, happen within my window and they finish within my window, which is between 8 and 11 a.m. If I'm still in a trade after 11 a.m., I'm not adding anything. I'm not taking more trades. I'm simply managing that trade until it hits stop profit, take profit, whatever the case may be, right? And so I went ahead and closed out and it didn't follow through. And I was already confident, man, like, yeah, Asian London tomorrow night, well, tonight, they probably gonna go ahead and follow through as they did. So Asian London, they blast down, they follow through and take out London Asian. So it brings us to today. Today, which I already actually closed this trade, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I kind of probably should have waited. But again, all week has been like this, and this is probably a learning curve right here. Just because all week has been this way doesn't mean to take that into the next day, which I did that today. Didn't result in a loss, but as I see right now, this trade is attempting to follow through, and they probably will follow through. But let's break it down. So today, 9:30. So today we had already closed well below London. I'm confident in my mind that we're going to continue lower. This is a continuation setup. Now, the only issue with today is you got so many fair value gaps that it was hard for me to try to like pick and see where they come into. So I went for the very first one I could find, which is right here to the left. You kind of can't see it that well, but if you go to the high time frame, you can see fair value gap right there. I was pretty confident that we'd come into that gap. And then I think what happened, let me break it down because I did take a loss. I took like 2 losses today so far. So 9:30 came in. Yeah, 9:30. I took a stop profit and a loss, and I won the last trade. 9:30 came in, and we tapped into the fair value gap. I went ahead and pulled immediately once 9:30 came in the fair value gap. We fluctuated. I thought we were going to actually go down, but we ended up flipping back up. 9:45, yeah, 9:40. So I got stopped out. 9:45, I re-entered the trade. 10 o'clock, we started punching down. It was nice to see good price action. I did not treat this as a demand zone, but once I went and looked at the hour time frame, this is a demand zone because the H1 candle here swept the previous candle. So they treated it as demand. 10:15 candle came back up and took me out stop profit. And then again today, 11 o'clock, I repulled that trade once we swept 9:45 higher into this fair value gap and closed the way we did. I went ahead and pulled right there on 11 o'clock. Strong bearish engulfing candle came out at 11:30. And truth be told, I closed right here on the 12:30 candle. So when 12:30 flipped back up and closed inside this gap, I wasn't confident anymore that they would continue. And then when I saw this candle here, 12:45 come out, in my mind, they were just simply mitigating the 12:30 candle to then possibly continue up. And I was like, let me just go ahead and take what I got for now. It is what it is. Now that I'm looking at it, they are attempting to follow through. But, you know, it's cool. It is what it is. Today is Thursday. I still got tomorrow. And yeah, that's just my whole week. All the trades I took, my thought process, my logic on applying everything. Like I said, man, accept the risk, accept the outcomes. It is what it is. You can't control the market. You just control your execution, risk management, and you're part of the process, right? So I'll be back tomorrow, Friday, see what I can get before the week is out. And yeah, that's pretty much it.